travel along. They say I've got nothing, but they are so wrong. In my heart I'm rejoicing, and I wish they could see. Thank you, Lord, for your blessings on me. Well, I've got a roof up above me and a good place to sleep. Food on my table and shoes on my feet. You gave me a love, Lord, and a fine family. Thank you, Lord, for your blessings on me. Although I'm not worthy and these clothes are not new, I ain't got much money, but Lord, I got to you, and to me it's
A very pleasant good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Big Stone Television. As you know, the series continues. The series of those great singers and players of instrument, record producers, who are still here with us today and those who have simply gone too soon. Today, I'm going to be talking about a gospel artist, a female gospel artist, a pioneer, a legend in her own right. We're talking about none other than the celebrated Claudelle Clarke. Now, when I tried to find, information on Claudelle Clarke, she wasn't listed in Wikipedia. And as you know, Wikipedia would have most of the greats listed there. So I had to search long and hard until I came up with an interview with Claudelle. Ladies and gentlemen, the search is over. This is the series on reggae gospel singer Claudelle Clarke. The question goes, where are you currently residing? Claudelle answered, in Georgia, U.S. It went on to ask, tell us a little bit about your family. Well, I have 3 kids, 1 boy and 2 girls, and 6 grandchildren. They are the apple of my eye. While growing up, my sisters and I used to sing together, and we sang a lot at church and school. To this day, none of my siblings are Christians. I'm the only one amongst my siblings who is a Christian. I did my first recording when I was 14 years old. It was not gospel, it was pop music. I never started out with gospel at all. I attended Sunday school, but my mother did not attend church. It was typical of Jamaican parents to send their children to Sunday school, but they do not attend. However, I must first report that my mother is currently saved and is a Christian. She lives in Florida. All members of my family are currently residing in Florida. My father died 20 years ago. It is not a lovely thing to report, but he had a drinking problem. My father was a good man, even though he made some mistake and he chose to turn to the bottle. You're currently a household name in Jamaica. Did you ever dream you would have been known as a pioneer of Jamaican gospel music? She answered, I would be lying if I said no. When I was growing up, we did not have any famous local gospel artists. Most of the artists who were famous in the Christian community were foreigners like Pat Boone, Jim Neighbor, etc. As I recall, Otis Wright was the only Jamaican who was known for singing gospel. When I started to officially sing gospel music, I was going out and performing, ministering to people at various churches. This was a different route for a Jamaican gospel singer at that time. I would get in trouble all the time with my church leaders because I was not allowed to leave my church and go to other churches and minister. But the thing is, I read my Bible and I receive a different understanding of what ministry means. I understood that ministry suggests that one is not supposed to sit in your church. God did not forbid us to go to other churches, but He encouraged us to go and minister. But my church, Church of God of Prophecy, was not having that at all. Therefore, in that sense, I broke every rule and law of my church. And she smiled. They told me not to go, but I went. They frequently had church meetings with me and was called forward many times, but I would not abide by their wishes, which a lot of people in my generation and time would not do. Those people abide by what church rule says, but I read the Bible and I found out God says, go out into the world and preach the gospel, not sit down in the church and preach the gospel. I believe I've been instrumental in paving the way for local artists to have their local fame in music. I've been through a lot in the church. You would be surprised. You see, I was not a conformer, and I believe that the message was not for me and a certain group of people. It was for everyone. Can you tell us about your journey from the secular music arena to the gospel music arena? Was it a difficult process for you? She answered, there were quite a few bands that I used to sing with in the secular music. Ron Wilson and the Comets, Lynn Tate, Lynn, originally from Trinidad. I was a senior vocalist in his band. I also performed with Byron Lee and the Dragonaires, Tammy McCook and the Supersonic. I was not attending church when I got saved. I did not want to go to church due to the hypocrisy that I saw in members of my own family who attended church. I used to play tambourine for a cultural boy and girls Chacamo Lawn, it was called. Group event in West Kingston, sponsored by Mr. Siaga. Papsy Grange was part of it, and so was Desmond McKenzie, Samuel Jacket, and so on. It was at these events that I realized that Mr. Siaga was really great in terms of knowing and understanding the Jamaican culture in West Kingston. I think the Tivoli Garden Dancers group and other well-known cultural group was developed out of these Chacamo Lawn events. It was fun. Anyways, they all thought I was crazy when I got saved. It was really funny. They thought I was crazy. I was baptized and I started to attend church on a regular basis, and I also began to minister in gospel music. People knew who I was before I got into church because I had the name in the outside world. So transition was not particularly difficult for me. It was not a problem for me in terms of people already knowing my sound and my music. The secular producers also knew me, so they were willing to produce my gospel albums when I switched over. They only thought I was crazy. Can you describe what it is like for you to be singing gospel music as opposed to singing secular music? Is there a marked difference for you? She replied, when I started doing secular music, I knew I could sing. I had a big and loud mouth. When I got saved, I did not have a spiritual mentor to guide me. The one thing I wish was that I had started singing gospel way before then. Just watching people respond positively to the message in the gospel song was so worth the switch. Singing secular was like a money thing, but singing gospel is a ministry to me. A ministry that is so rewarding when you see people's lives being changed. So, you have recorded numerous albums throughout the years. Do you have a personal favorite album or favorite song from your own recordings? My other recordings are my favorites. Songs like Around God's Throne, After All, Almost Persuaded, Not My Will, and That's Enough. The words meant a lot to me at that time, so they all counted as favorites. Another song that really meant a lot to me as a new Christian was Just As I Am. This was the first song I sang in church when I got saved. Many people thought I did Hurry Up, but I did not popularize that song. Evangelist Higgins sang that song. Aside from singing, what other activities, hobbies do you enjoy doing? She answered, I enjoy dancing, reading, watching comedy movies. I enjoy anything that makes me laugh. Do you think there are any differences in today's Jamaican gospel music as opposed to Jamaican gospel music of 2 or 3 decades ago? She answered, the only music I don't really understand yet is the Christian dancehall with the DJs. I don't have a problem with this music trend at all. Just that I can't understand what they're saying because they speak too fast or speaks in terms I can't understand. Old age, I guess. She smiled. But if people have changed your life because of their music, then more power to them. And I would encourage them to go for it. Why? Because everyone has their own way of ministering to people. An artist should not condemn other artists for the way they choose to minister in music. I will be the last one to condemn any music artist and say this is not right. Ministry is ministry, no matter the form it comes in. Everyone has their own way of ministering. The only problem I find is that the church has lost its flavor. It was if we are following the world instead of the world patterning the church. We are supposed to be the leader, but instead we are followers. Now, who is Claudelle of today? Can you describe Claudelle to me? She answered, same old-fashioned Claudelle. Never change, still the same. What you see is what you get. And she smiles. What is your future plan regarding a new album? She replied, yes, I do have an album being released in September 2009 entitled The Journey. In fact, the album launch event of my new album is scheduled for September 26 in 2009 at the Sheraton Hotel, 311 North University Drive, Plantation, Florida, at 6:30 p.m. My last album was released in 2005. The title of this new album, The Journey, is fitting as it has been a long journey in my music career and in the music industry, and it is appropriate to celebrate and emphasize the detail on this new album. 41 years is a long time. Tell us a little bit more. Will there be any changes in your style of music on this new album? She replied, oh yes, the overall style is definitely Jamaican, but there are different flavors, and I'm very open to those changes. It shows the different sides of Claudelle. It shows how versatile I am. And she smiled. You would think my voice would have been changed throughout the years, but it remained the same. I'm still singing the same song in the same key I used to sing 40-something years ago. I'm so thankful, and I consider this a true blessing. I will celebrate my 60th birthday on the 1st of November in 2009. This has proven to be one of my best and most memorable projects. I'm currently working with the producer Hugh Campbell of Studio Max Records, and it was so wonderful to be a part of this project as I'd never been before. I've input on some of the details of the process. All my previous works that I have done for other producers, I never had any real input in the creation of my CD projects. I would just sing and go home. No one consulted me on anything or informed me on the process. The next thing I know, in a couple of weeks or months, I would hear the music on the radio. My current producer, Hugh Campbell, allows me to feel like I am an important voice in the decision-making process of this project, and he values my input. So it is one of my best because I participate with my producer on the songs. Give us a little preview. Which song on this new album is your favorite? She responded, "That is kind of a hard thing to do right now. There's so many hit songs on this album, and I don't know. Let's see. It's all taken care of. It's such a powerful song to me. My daughter actually wrote one of the songs on this new album. It's entitled Glory, Glory. Of course, it is one of my favorites. What do you value most in life?" She responded, "Right now, I value health and strength. I'm also happy that I've maintained a certain standard in my Christianity, and I've been getting stronger spiritually. I'm not where I used to be spiritually, mentally, and physically. I may fall by the way, but I do not stay down. I get up and move on." Do you believe you're successful? Do you have any regrets in 41 years of ministry? "I am successful. I wake up in the mornings and I have health and strength. I am successful. I feel good. I have no regrets. I'm blessed. I'm just a little disappointed in some things. Many times in my music career and within the music industry, people take me for granted. If I had continued in the secular music, I believe it would have had a terrible end for me, but I would have been recognized for my work. It is a hard pill to swallow at times, but I found that in the Christian world, your talent is not valued as much as you would have liked it to be. The good thing is that my values come from being a child of God. But it's okay to be human sometimes, and that disappointment is my human self speaking." And she smiles. "What is one thing you'd like for the Jamaican people to remember about you?" She responded, "I would like for them to remember that Claudelle Clarke was a pioneer in Jamaican gospel music who endured a lot to pave the way for many local artists of today. I want them to remember my struggles so that when they come upon a personal battle in their own lives, they can remember that Claudelle overcame her battles and paved the way for others. And they can do it too. A lot of singers would not have done what I did in those days because they were faithful to their church rules and law. I was obedient to God's rules and law. What advice would you give to young gospel Jamaican artists or aspiring to be famous gospel singers?" She responded, "They should make sure they understand that their talent is a ministry. They should make sure they know they're singing for the right reason. It's not because they have a good voice and they can sing, but they should ask themselves the question, why am I singing? Is it to feel good or is it to be an instrument for God? Is there a message you have in your heart for the Jamaican people?" Crime is so common in Jamaica right now. It is easy for the church to talk about praying for change, but there has to be action along with praying. So praying is not all of what we need to do, because faith without works is dead. Jamaica is historically a Christian nation, and if we let crime take over the nation, then it will be a really sad day for us. People should come together and work together. Jamaica is not the Jamaica I knew growing up. People do not care about others, nor do they have respect for each other's lives. Jamaicans need to get back to the basic. One hand can wash the other. See, one person wants to do something about the ills in society, but there are others who do not want to participate in that venture. Even though I know there's more good in Jamaica than evil, it is hard because all you see are the bad things. People should wake up and say we're taking back our island, taking back our neighborhoods, and taking back our community. Mothers need to stand up and say enough is enough. when they see their child involved in wrongdoings. I believe it will be all right in the end. Me love Jamaica. Can't done. Claudelle Clarke, what a powerful woman you are. I was so impressed with your fearlessness, the fact that you're a pioneer, you're a trendsetter, you went into uncharted grounds and you did what you had to do. You did not follow the principles of the church because some of those principles were contrary to the principle of God. And with that, I have to commend you. Claudelle, you're indeed a role model for all of us here in Jamaica. We honor your work. We respect your work. We want the rest of Jamaica and the rest of the world to identify and see you as a real living legend, an icon, and also a pioneer. You should be given the Order of Distinction, the Order of Merit, or some high accolades by the government of Jamaica if that has not been bestowed upon you as yes. We love you so much, Claudelle Clarke. We want to thank you here in Jamaica. Thank you so much for giving us great gospel music. Thank you so much for opening up the lives of some of our Jamaican artists who have now turned to gospel, even though you do not understand some of the words that they're saying because they're going simply too fast. But you are responsible single-handedly for creating this kind of form so that other Jamaicans can follow suit. You say you're just successful, and we agree, Claudelle. You're very, very, very successful. But guess what? We have to add, you're great, you're dynamic, you're a superstar. And for that, Jamaica and the rest of the world is extremely grateful for your present. We wish for you the longest of life, and we know that beautiful voice that you possess, that you started singing at age 14, is still the same yesterday as it is today. Continue to sing, Claudelle Clarke, and thank you. You came, you saw, and you're still conquering. We love you, can't done, and we can't wait to see you back in Jamaica performing again. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the legendary, the iconic, the pioneer, Miss Claudelle Clarke, alive and well, and still here with us today. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and share this video. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, now is the time to do so. Thank you so much.